leveling is loaded with over-the-top power flexes. I'm talking about scenes where characters show off their strength so hard, it leaves everyone, friend and foe, absolutely speechless. You know those moments that give you chills and make you yell at your screen? Did that just happen? Today, we're geeking out about the craziest times solo leveling characters flexed on their enemies. No formal ranking here, just a fast-paced rundown of pure hype, humor, and jaw-dropping dominance. So strap in, because it's gonna get wild. Let's get into it. The Dungeon Backstab, Season 1, Episode 6. Remember when some low-life hunters tried to backstab Jinwoo early on? Oh yeah, they seriously thought the weakest hunter would be easy pickings. They corner him and his buddy Yu Jin-ho in a dungeon, planning to kill them for loot. Bad move. In a split second, Jinwoo flips the script on these clowns. He dodges their attacks like they're moving in slow motion, and takes them down one by one without even breaking a sweat. Their leader Hwang Dong-suk, a B rank who is way too cocky, gets a reality check when Jinwoo grabs his arm mid-swing and drives a dagger straight through his chest. The rest of Hwang's gang, either knocked out cold or on their knees begging for mercy. They went in thinking they'd bully an E rank, and instead, they got absolutely wrecked by an S rank in disguise. The sheer terror on their face when they realize how badly they underestimated him. Now that's a flex. Jinwoo basically said, "Nice try, now it's my turn," and ended the fight almost as soon as it started. What a way to announce that his weakling days were over. Note to self, never underestimate Sung Jinwoo.
さすがレッドゲート。もらえる経験値が全然違う。
One Punch Ice Bear, Season 2, Episode 2. As Jinwoo grows stronger, the flexes only get crazier. Take the infamous Red Gate incident. Jinwoo and a bunch of rookie hunters get trapped in a deadly frozen dimension. Everyone's losing their cool, literally, when a gigantic ice bear, think polar bear on steroids, charges at them. The newbies are paralyzed with fear, convinced this is the end. But Jinwoo, he steps up and one-punches the beast to death. Yup, one hit is all it takes, and that towering monster is down for the count. The others are staring in total disbelief as this threat, something that should have wiped the floor with them, gets turned into a rug in tonight's dinner in a matter of seconds. Jinwoo is so casual about it, it's hilarious. He basically goes, "Anyone hungry?" after slaying the bear, while everyone else is still trying to process what they just saw. You can bet the others were thinking, "You aren't really E rank, are you?" Because no E rank can do that. His party members are just gawking, probably wondering if they accidentally brought Superman along on this raid. Humiliating Kim Chul, Season 2, Episode 3. Later in that same Red Gate, an arrogant A-rank hunter named Kim Chul starts losing his mind. He's not handling the stress well, and he's definitely not handling how Jinwoo is upstaging him at every turn. So Kim Chul pulls a knife and threatens Jinwoo and the others, trying to act like he's in charge. Jinwoo responds by vanishing from sight and reappearing right behind Kim Chul in a blink of an eye. Classic nothing personal kid move. Before Mr. Arrogant can even react, Jinwoo has his face first in the snow, arm twisted up behind his back, completely humiliated. Kim Chul goes from blustering bully to whimpering mess in 2 seconds flat. The rest of the team just watches with wide eyes, secretly thanking their lucky stars that Jinwoo is on their side, and not the one pinning them to the ground. Jinwoo basically says, without even saying it, "Calm down or I'll put you down." Lesson learned, you don't mess with Sung Jinwoo, even if you're a high-ranking hunter.
お前と戦いたいと言っているからで
Elf Army gets wrecked, Season 2, Episode 3. And if that's not enough, how about when an entire tribe of ice elves ambushes them? These elves are intelligent, vicious, and armed to the teeth. Their chieftain sends out his strongest warrior to duel Jinwoo, probably thinking no mere human could ever defeat him. Big mistake. Jinwoo slices the elf champion's head clean off with a single swing. 1 second the elf is charging in, all confident, and the next he's headless on the ground. The rest of the elves just freeze, completely stunned. Their toughest guy got one-shotted by a human. and suddenly, they're not so cocky anymore. At that point, any monster with half a brain would think twice about taking on Jinwoo. In the span of one crazy mission, Jinwoo one-punches a giant monster, humbles an A-rank hunter, and scares the living daylights out of an entire elf army. He flexed on all of them, back to back, and made it look easy. Jinwoo breaks the rank test. Season 2, Episode 4. By the time Jinwoo makes it out of the Red Gate, it's clear he's on a whole different level. He even goes for an official rank retest and ends up breaking the measuring device with his overwhelming power. The examiners watching are freaking out. They've never seen anything like it. How many people are so OP that the test just says error? Jinwoo is literally off the charts. I mean, come on, that's just crazy. If that's not a flex, I don't know what is. Demon Castle Conquest, Season 2, Episode 8. For good measure, Jinwoo always decided to solo a place called the Demon Castle, a 100-floor dungeon crawling with high-level demons, all by himself. Yeah, he cleared the entire tower solo and took down the Demon King at the top. That fight was nuts. The Demon King Baron threw everything he had at Jinwoo. Fire, lightning, you name it. Jinwoo just kept coming. By the end, Jinwoo literally cut the Demon King in pieces. Imagine the Demon Lord's shock, realizing that this mere human was about to take him out. It was yet another scene where Jinwoo flexed his dominance over what should have been an impossible foe. Just another day for our guy. The High Orc Raid, Season 2, Episode 5. Next, let's talk about the time Jinwoo joined a raid with the big boys, the veteran S-rank hunters of the Hunters Guild. They invite him on a high-level dungeon run to see what he's got. At first, everything seems routine, but then boom, they get ambushed by a horde of high orcs. And not just any orcs, these brutes are smarter, stronger, and coordinated, led by a magic-wielding orc shaman. In an instant, the hunters go from confident to cornered. Even the guild's S-rank leader, who can turn into a freaking beast man, gets hit with a curse and knocked out of the fight early. It's chaos. The orcs are closing in from all sides, and the team is about to be overwhelmed. That's when Jinwoo decides it's time to stop holding back. He basically says, "Stay here, I'll handle this," and dives straight into the enemy mob. What happens next is pure annihilation. For the orcs, that is. Jinwoo becomes a blur of destruction, slicing through orcs left and right. One orc swings a massive axe at him. Jinwoo catches it with one hand like it's a toy, then slashes that orc down in the same breath. Another huge orc tries to tackle him. Jinwoo flips the creature over his shoulder as if it weighed nothing, planting it into the ground. The orc shaman, thinking it's high and mighty, starts casting a spell. Bad news, Jinwoo is already in its face mid-chant. Slash, the shaman's magic dies with him. All around, orcs are collapsing, and the horde thins out in mere moments. The veteran hunters who brought Jinwoo along are watching with jaws on the floor. They've never seen anything like this. The team's ace swordsmaster, Cha Hae-in, lowers her blade in astonishment, because there's nothing left for her to do. Jinwoo did it all. I can just picture the other hunters thinking, is this guy even real? They went in expecting to maybe babysit a new S rank, and instead he saved all of them. It was a one-man army performance that left even the proudest hunters totally awestruck. It was glorious to watch. He basically turned a nightmare scenario into a routine cleanup. Safe to say, he earned everyone's respect right there on the spot. Honestly, you almost feel bad for the monsters that run into Jinwoo. Almost. Talk about making an impression. You can bet none of them will forget that raid anytime soon. The Jeju Island Raid, Season 2, Episodes 10 through 13. Finally, we have the Jeju Island Raid, Jinwoo's magnum opus of flexing. This was the biggest monster outbreak yet, an entire island overrun by gigantic man-eating ants and their insanely powerful Ant King. The top hunters of Korea, and even a squad of elite Japanese hunters, team up to take on this nightmare. It was supposed to be a legendary victory for the hunters, but it goes horribly wrong. The ants are far stronger and more numerous than anyone expected. The hunters get overwhelmed. You got S ranks fighting for their lives and losing badly. One by one, the heroes fall. Even Japan's strongest hunter, Goto, the guy hyped up as the ultimate hunter, gets obliterated in a heartbeat by the Ant King. In minutes, this all-star raid turns into a massacre. The Ant King and his swarm are tearing through everything. It's utter carnage. Hope is literally bleeding out on the ground. And then Jinwoo shows up. Not just walking in, he swoops down from the sky on a dragon-like shadow beast. The surviving hunters stare in awe. The Ant King, on the other hand, screeches in rage, thinking he's got another puny human to crush. Oh buddy, you have no idea. Jinwoo charges in, dodging the Ant King's lethal strikes like it's a slow-motion replay. Then comes the flex. The Ant King lunges. Jinwoo catches its colossal claw mid-swing. A brief moment of realization hits before Jinwoo rips the claw clean off. The once unstoppable monster reels back, actually feeling fear for the first time. The swarm of ants rushes at Jinwoo to protect their king, but Jinwoo isn't having it. He summons his shadow soldiers to even the odds. Suddenly, a dark army of knights, beasts, and even a freaking dragon erupt onto the battlefield, on Jinwoo's side. Now it's the ants who are outnumbered and outclassed. Jinwoo and his shadows carve through the swarm, and in the middle of it all, Jinwoo goes one-on-one with the Ant King in a battle that can only be described as legendary. Blow by blow, Jinwoo overpowers the giant ant. Finally, with a devastating strike, Jinwoo brings the Ant King crashing down. The baddest boss on the island is defeated, and Jinwoo stands victorious. But wait, he's not done. He stands over the Ant King's corpse, looks down and says one word: "Arise." Boom. The once-feared Ant King resurrects as Jinwoo's loyal shadow minion. The same beast that wiped out dozens of hunters, now his pet. The remaining ants freeze in horror. Their leader just switched teams. Within moments, Jinwoo's army wipes out the swarm. The hunters watch in shock. One man did what an entire international task force couldn't. The message was clear. Sung Jinwoo was in a league of his own. Mic dropped. Ants exterminated. Those were some of the most epic flexes we've seen in the solo leveling anime so far, and they are exactly what we can't get enough of in this show. Honestly, I can't wait to see what jaw-dropping power move comes next, because you know it's gonna be wild. Which of these moments blew your mind the most? Hopefully you had as much fun reliving these scenes as I did. Until next time, thanks for tuning in and enjoying the hype. And hey, if you ever find yourself in a dungeon with Sung Jinwoo, just sit back and relax. He's got it handled.